Bourbon. Belts. Blockbusters. You are listening to the Triple B Podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to another episode of the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. I'm Tim.
I'm Ryan.
And we got a pack full show about bourbon or cocktails,
Cocktails with the bourbon.
wrestling, and some blockbusters. We got some exciting stuff going on
sure
today.
do.
Ryan, kick it off with our cocktail.
Heck yeah, man. We're doing another morning episode. It's about 9:30 right now. And so always try to incorporate some good old coffee into our cocktails. And excuse me. And whilst I was researching, trying to find what to do for this week, I saw one I've like never seen before, and I feel like it's such a simple idea that I don't know why I've never seen this, but I've never seen this before. So it is a coffee old fashioned, and I'm calling it the breakfast old fashioned. It's morning, it's coffee and breakfast, bourbon, more. It's all delicious. So what this consists of is our bourbon from last week, which is the Center Stave Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. That beautiful bottle right there. Got that. We got coffee of our own respect. If anyone notices, if you're watching this, they look a little different. Mine is like a mushroom coffee because I can't drink normal fucking coffee. It just fucks my whole day up. So that's what I have. Tim has classic caffeinated drip coffee, I'm assuming.
Yeah. The donut shop.
Nice. So yeah, that's why they look a little bit different, but it is the same drink outside of those differences. And then we use some black walnut bitters and we use some maple syrup. And the most important piece to this, our big ice cubes in this bad boy are actually just frozen coffee.
Yep.
So they're coffee ice cubes. Put the ice cube in the glass, 2 ounces of bourbon, 1 ounce of coffee, ½ ounce of maple syrup, couple dashes of bitters, stirry on that biznatch. And, yeah, that's where we're at with it.
Heck yeah, man.
Let's give her a taste. Let's get this bad boy underway. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Damn. I'm giving it a 10.
Yeah.
It's, I love old fashions. I love me some coffee. Can we have this every morning?
I know, this is a perfect comment. This is going to get me fired. Just kidding.
He's responsible.
I am a responsible drinker. I only do it at stoplights. Also kidding. Calm down. But goddamn, that's fucking fantastic.
Really good.
You get literally every flavor of everything in this.
Yeah. It's not too sweet either.
Not too sweet at all.
The syrup doesn't overpower it.
No, not at all. I think the ratios of everything are really good. I think having the coffee ice cube was important in this because I feel like if it was just a normal ice cube, maybe the ratios could be off a little bit. But it's like as the ice melts, it's just adding more coffee to it. So I think the black walnut bitters was the perfect bitters for this.
Yeah.
I contemplated trying to find the coffee bitters, but I was like, would that be too much?
Yeah.
You know, like, would that really add much? So I went with the black walnut, and I think that was perfect. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm very happy with that.
Easy drink today.
Yes, absolutely.
Very good.
And who would have thought that our favorite coffee cocktail would have been a cold one?
Yeah, no kidding.
Just starting our morning off with a nice iced latte.
No one's going to know.
Yeah.
No one's going to know.
No one will know.
No one will know. No one's going to know.
Would you look at us? All right. 10s all around. Timmy, hit us with our socials.
You can find us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and TikTok at TrippyPod. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. We are the Triple B Podcast, Bourbon Belts, and Blockbusters. And you can give us an email at triplebpod619@gmail.com. Let's get social. That brings us over to our fact check. This one is my turn. And we got some stuff on here.
All right. Well, I know we had a couple things that we just straight up were talking about. We're like, we're going to have to fact check that. So
Yeah. And one where I didn't think anything of it until watching SmackDown last night. So fun little fact for you there already. Difference between port wine casks and other casks.
Yeah.
So this is really geared towards whiskey and the casks and everything. So bourbon barrels are typically made from American white oak and undergo toasting and charring before the bourbon is added. Alcohol by volume of the bourbon plays a significant role in how the barrel imparts flavor. Higher it is, that accelerates the extraction from the wood. You got sherry, has to use cask previously held wine, and it needs to be 10 years or older.
Okay.
Port, the one you specifically asked about, is divided into several types, each distinguished by its style. So there's a tawny port, which is a golden color. It's aged in used wooden barrels to promote oxidation and may mature up to 40 years. We got a vintage port, and that's aged in casks for just 2 to 3 years. We got a ruby port, which is matured in steel tanks to prevent oxidation. If aged in wood, it's a very, very short period of time. Port can be matured in large port pipes or smaller, which is primarily used for finishing whiskey. Maturation of whiskey in port cask imparts a smooth, fruity character to the whiskey. And then distinct flavors will therefore depend on the kind of port in which you cask you're using.
Okay.
And then wine, typically in French oak. So those are the variations of
Interesting.
all those port casks that we talk about on our bottles. Wanted to clarify where WWE was. We got there eventually, but just wanted to for sure put it down. So SmackDown was Barcelona, Spain.
Barcelona.
We got Brussels, Belgium. We didn't say the city. We just said Belgium.
Yeah.
And then Bologna, Italy. This week they were in Glasgow, Scotland, and London, UK.
Yeah.
Jay's Uso's theme, we talked about, is it Jay's vocals on it? And yes, it is. It used to be Jimmy when they were together, and then when he went solo is when Jay's vocals got added to it. Randy Orton's previous theme, Burning My Light, was sung by Mercy Drive, not Rev Theory.
Yep.
We knew it wasn't Rev Theory, but we said it. His current theme is sung by Rev Theory voices.
Yeah. Okay.
Anna de Armas is in the movie with Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. So there's a little tie right there for the ballerina movie. Jai Courtney was not in G.I. Joe as Snake Eyes. He was not in G.I. Joe at all. The actor that played Snake Eyes was Ray Park, who played Darth Maul in Star Wars.
Oh.
And that was in the first two movies. Henry Golding played Snake Eyes in the Snake Eyes movie.
Okay.
Just notable movies that Jai Courtney was in was Suicide Squad, like you said, as Boomerang, Good Day to Die Hard, the Divergent and Insurgent movies, Terminator Genesis, Alita Battle Angel, the show Terminal List, and recently the show American Primeval, which we've covered on the podcast. Confirming it was The Patient on Hulu, the show that I was talking about with Steve Carell. Highly recommended, and it was called The Patient. More serious role.
On what was it?
Hulu.
Hulu, okay.
Yeah, or Disney Plus. Texas Chainsaw Massacre did come out before Halloween. It was in 1974, 4 years before Halloween. I wanted to dig in a little more because there has been quite a bit of Texas Chainsaw movies. There's kind of a lot of continuities, like little chains of movies. So the original continuity is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, 3, and Return to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Millennium films, it goes Leatherface, which came out in 2017, goes back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre back in 74, and then followed by Texas Chainsaw 3D that came out in 2013. So 3 movies in that continuity.
But in a weird order.
Yeah, weird order. Yep. Yeah, because 2017.
The first one is technically the
second
last one.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was like the most recent one that came out.
Yeah.
Is the first one in that continuity, right?
Then we go over to Legendary Entertainment continuity. It starts with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 74, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre that just came out in 2022 on Netflix.
Okay.
And then the last one is Platinum Dunes. It's Texas Chainsaw The Beginning, and then followed by Texas Chainsaw Massacre that came out in 2003.
That's the one with Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And what was you said the beginning?
That was before this one.
When did that come out?
Oh, that was
Did you have it?
05, 06 or something.
Oh, okay.
Probably later, actually, now I think. I didn't
So
look up the year.
It was
but
a
it
prequel
was a prequel to that
the
one.
Jessica Biel one. Okay.
Yep.
Damn. A lot of different.
Yeah, kind of like the Halloween continuity. If you
But
look
that's
up.
even more messy.
Yeah.
Like Halloween's not as messy as that.
Yeah, this one is very messy.
Yeah, that one's very messy. Because Halloween is like the original fucking 6 movies.
Yeah.
Or 7. Is Resurrection 7?
I think that's its own timeline too.
But it's kind of is, but it isn't, because Jamie Lee Curtis is still in the beginning of that one.
Yeah.
As Laurie Strode, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where he kills her. Mm-hmm. Right. But then, then they like went back with this most recent trilogy and they like scrapped everything. They ignored everything post, I think, Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Or maybe even the first one. So, and then outside of that, though, it's just the 2 Rob Zombie films.
Yeah. I think there's...
So it was Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Halloween 4 was it just Halloween 4? And then Halloween 5 was Curse of Michael Myers, I think. Or it's 4 Curse of Michael Myers. It's one of those. But there's 4 and 5.
There was Return of Michael Myers, there was Revenge, and then Curse of Michael Myers after 3. I don't know which order.
So is there 8 then? Up to Resurrection? Is Resurrection 8?
Because
Because there's H2O.
H2O, and then
I thought
Resurrection.
H2O was the 6th.
They're all right there.
Oh, you have them all. Yep. So there were 6, then H2O, then Resurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, that was all like, as those first 8 were coming out, that was all one continuity. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that was all just one thing.
Yeah.
And then it all played off the same characters that kept either from the original or were added and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was the Rob Zombie ones, and then the most recent trilogy where they picked up after the first or second one.
First one, yeah.
Yeah, the first one, yeah. So,
all right. Going forward, we talked about John Wayne Gacy, and I said that he was in a Netflix show. It was The Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. It was like a brief thing in there, and since then they've done a second season. It was on the Menendez brothers, and then there is a third season in line for Ed Gein, but not John Wayne Gacy yet, but maybe in the future. Yeah. And then lastly, this is the one that I was referring to on SmackDown last night, clarified that Randy Orton is not going for number 16. We said number 16, and he corrected us last night and said he was going for number 15.
Yeah, he's only at 14.
He's only at 14, and I was like 100% sure that he was at 16, but that wouldn't make sense because it's just Ric Flair and John Cena at the top right now, tied. So,
well, we thought he was at 15 already. We thought he was going for 16. Yeah, but he's only going for 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's what I got for the fact check.
Nice. Not too terrible.
Not too terrible.
All right. Well, that brings us to number 17 for our wellness journey check-in. Timothy. I said that weird. Timothy. I said Timmy and Thee. Timothy.
Yeah.
Anyways, how's shit going for you?
Well, let me tell you. Success, still going to the gym regularly.
Hell yeah.
That's just been ongoing.
It's ingrained now.
It is.
We set that habit.
In fact, I've been to the gym 54 times out of the 88 days so far.
Fuck
of the year. Got a little tracker on my phone.
That's
and
awesome, dude. Hell
keeps track of the days. That's 61% of the year I've been going to the gym.
That's awesome.
And there's been a few exercises outside of the gym too. So
yeah.
Hell yeah. Challenges, heavy dose of work the past 3 weeks. Just a lot of different things going on. Like a few weeks ago, I worked 6 days, and I went out of the house 6 days, and just it put a lot of like just strain on cooking at home. It put a little strain on the amount of workout I was doing at the gym, but still got it done. And so my weight loss, last time was no loss. This time I lost 3.7 pounds.
Fuck yeah, dude. Down
20.8 total for the duration of this wellness check. So hell yeah, I'm at 242.1, not 142.1, 242.1.
Hell yeah, dude.
Getting closer to being below that 240 mark. I'm right there.
Right about where I started.
Yeah.
So we were 23 pounds apart or whatever. So that's fucking awesome, dude.
On my way.
That's dope. Hell yeah, man.
What about you?
Challenges. I kind of alluded to this and mentioned it briefly last week's episode too, just because I had missed the check-in the week before because I was gone. That was obviously a challenge in and of itself, just being gone. So it kind of, throws you off your normal routine, right? The normal going to the gym, because Fridays and Mondays are two of my most, important days for myself, just personally going. It's a great way to start the week off, great way to finish the week off. And so I got up early that Friday morning, flew to Arizona, and then I flew home in the evening on that Monday. So I didn't work out either of those days. But I did play a shit ton of golf while I was gone, so it wasn't like I was just sitting on my ass being a bum. Played a bunch of golf, so I was still active and moving around, and I was getting steps in and stuff like that. Eating that weekend was not great. I tried to make better choices, but we were just eating out the whole time. And then my hip was fucked, and it's been fucked for the last couple weeks now. But last week was like, I worked out Tuesday, I think, and that was it. I didn't work out again after that because it hurt so fucking bad. And I was like limping, and it just wasn't good. Took the rest of the week off. This week, I was able to get back to it. So successes. Worked out 4 times this week. Me and Lindsay did a garage workout Sunday and Wednesday. Sunday and Tuesday maybe. And then I went to the gym Monday and Wednesday. Nice. So I was able to get to the gym twice, which is good because like at the garage workout, I can kind of control what I'm doing a little bit more than going to 9 round and having it like a prescribed workout that I'm then trying to modify on the spot. Sometimes that's harder to do for me. And sometimes I will try to just push through and do whatever the workout is, even when I'm hurting. And that's not always the smart move to do. Yeah. But I was able to do that this week. I was good. I was fine. I was, so I'm stretching and doing all that. Plus I was made sure I was getting my steps in for the majority of the days this week as well. Sweet. Eating well, back on that again. And my water intake has been back up to my normal standard, which is a little over a gallon a day at least. So, yeah. All that stuff. Last week, I think I had mentioned that I had weighed myself. So before I went to Arizona, I weighed myself and I was 217.8. Then last weekend I weighed myself and I was 219.9, so I was still in the two teens, which I was happy about, with barely being able to work out and eating the week before and all that stuff. So I was good with that. Got back to the gym this week, got my eating, everything back on track, good to go. Weighed in this morning at 216.1, so I'm down another 1.7 pounds from when I weighed in before I went to Arizona. Yeah. And in total, I was 241.4 when I started. So that is 25.3 pounds, I think.
Nice.
25.3. Am I doing my math? No, am I doing my maths right?
I don't know.
241 to 221 would be 20. To 216 would be 25. Yeah. So 25.3 pounds. And I'm 6.1 pounds away from our target goal right now.
Hell yeah, man.
So that feels good. I feel good. Clothes are fitting like almost loosely now. Like there's certain shirts and stuff that I have on where I'm like, damn, I'm swimming in this fucking thing now, which is a really cool fucking feeling because I haven't had that in a long time. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I gotta say the texting challenge thing has been the biggest motivator. Because I had a work meeting this week where it took me out Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, not Wednesday. I lied because I did go to the gym that night. But I felt like I was really behind the wheel because of that work meeting. Yeah. And I was just like, no, I gotta be texting Ryan. I'm making it 3 times. Like, I gotta find a way to make it happen. Yep. And so I did. And
it's nice because it's on those weeks where we like one of us we don't work out the first time until like Wednesday. Yeah. And the other person like this week, right? Because I think was
you already
Wednesday
had 3 by the time
Tuesday
I had
night
1.
or Wednesday your first. Yeah, I was gonna say I had 3 in already, and I was kind of I'm like sending it to you like you better fucking send me one back pretty soon, Tim. Exactly. And you did, and you got them all in, and it was all good.
Yeah. And I got 3 quality ones in, and I got in a 5th one last week after we recorded.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And then I plan on going for the 4th today. So.
Nice. Awesome.
So, heck yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
We're cruising.
Yeah. I'm doing great, man.
I'm jealous that you're so close, but you were closer already.
Yeah, I started closer,
But props to us.
But, yeah, we're doing it.
A combined 45 pounds down.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
That's almost one of my dogs right there.
Yeah.
So
seriously. That's awesome, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
And most important, we fucking feel good.
Feeling really good.
So
feeling real good.
Yep.
That brings us to
belts.
Ryan, what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about some handfuls of things, Tim's.
Some handful of things.
I got some handfuls of things. I don't have a ton of stuff from Raw, I'm going to be honest. But I will start with the one thing I do have from Raw. We got another Gunther sneak attack.
Oh, you okay.
Yeah, I'm starting. That's the only thing from Raw that I have.
Wow.
Yeah. Outside of my banger of the week, but we'll get to that.
All right.
But yeah. I don't feel like this week added much more to anything still. Like it's just the same. They're trying to build this crumbling Jay to then be triumphant at WrestleMania, but I just don't feel like it's coming off the way they want it to.
No. Not with the matches. No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, like at least this match was a full match, and it was a good match, and we got to see the Usos back together, which was dope. Cool. That was sweet, and against quality opponent in A-Town Down Under. But just like we've said before, it's been week after week after week now of just Gunther just out of nowhere attacking Jay.
Yeah. And
Jay can't come save anybody without his music hitting. And it's just like that same trend that keeps going that I'm just like, all right.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to get over it. And Jey Uso's like my favorite fucking character, which sucks. So
I will agree with you in the match perspective, and I was very upset when Gunther did another sneak attack.
Yeah.
And then I do like that because Jay did have some botches the week before.
Yeah.
And they fed into the storyline. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crossbody spear, it was not a good spear last week.
Yeah.
So I like that they fed into that. But I think where the real story is brewing, and what I'm really hoping for is Jimmy trying to pump Jay back up in the back, saying, you got to get out of your head, man. And then goes and slaps the shit out of Gunther in the back, like full on slap, setting up a match for Monday on Monday Night Raw. And what I think is going to happen is Gunther just beats the shit out of Jimmy, where he's like taken out in an ambulance, and that's really where it's going to get personal between Jay and Gunther, adding that next level.
Yeah.
This is all whether that happens, but the perspective of that has me excited. I thought Jimmy did more for this storyline this week than Jay and Gunther have done at all.
The entire time.
They need a payoff on Monday because I think that's if I'm right, I think that's where we get that personal.
And if it isn't that necessarily, like if they don't want to end up like essentially writing Jimmy off TV until WrestleMania or whatever, which I mean, I know it's only like 3 weeks from today, but
21 days.
It's still Jimmy's a hot character right now.
Yeah.
And so taking him off TV at all is bad for business. So that's the one part where I'm kind of like, I don't know if that's the move they should do. So if it's not that, because I agree in the idea of that would be like the tipping point to put Jay over the edge to unleash another side of him that we haven't seen yet. Mm-hmm. But maybe it's not being taken out in an ambulance and everything, but he's just getting terribly beaten down to where it could lead to that. And Jay with no music hits and just beats Gunther down.
Maybe
That's something we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen Jay get the upper hand on Gunther at all, almost. Right?
Yeah.
Outside of like kind of fends him off and Gunther slides out of the ring and then he's standing in the ring. But we haven't seen him actually have the upper hand.
Yeah.
You know. So either of those two things happening, I think would be good for pushing the storyline there. I just don't know if I think what you said is probably the best option, but at the same time I don't know if writing Jimmy off of TV right now is the best option. You know what I mean? Like it's for the storyline it is, but all around I don't know if it is.
He doesn't got anything going into Mania though. I think it's too late to put him in anything. So
yeah,
this would be a way, and I think that's what's going to happen. I agree with you. Jimmy is a hot character.
Yeah.
Which is why it'll feel more impactful if he does get taken off.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. I'm going over, and I understand why you skipped over this and didn't want to talk about it, but John Cena, Cody Rhodes again, opening the show.
It wasn't that I didn't want to talk about it. I just had more stuff that I wanted to get on SmackDown. Honestly, I didn't not like Raw this week. I want to say that I enjoyed Raw. There was more stuff from SmackDown that that just didn't make the cut for me.
Yeah. Well, I just gotta say, I see where you were coming from last week. Like, yeah, it's cool to get the spiel last week, but I don't want this repeating like over again. That's basically what this was, minus John Cena says he's gonna ruin wrestling. The only thing I think would be cool if he does win the title and retires with the title and takes it away, starting a new title, and then John Cena gets to keep that record and they start a whole new lineage with a new title. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just,
So then that it just straight up, but it's not that, but that's not what the record is.
No,
the record isn't specific to the WWE Championship. It's world titles.
World titles.
So
that's true.
The record itself wouldn't just die.
But it would
with
be cool
Cena
to retire this belt.
Yeah,
and bring in.
I totally agree with that. Bring in a revamped Winged Eagle.
Yeah.
Title would be fucking sick.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about a new fucking title now since the first Saturday Night's Main Event.
Yeah. But where I'm confused is where The Rock fits into it. And you can't just have this big epic moment and then it just be Cena talking about how the crowd turned on him and that's it. Like, I want to know, why did he sell his soul to The Rock? Yeah. I want to know, is there any benefits to teaming up with The Rock? Because right now there's no tie anymore. So it got me asking more questions, and it felt more evident on this episode of Raw just because it was very repetitive from the previous week. Cody, again, is cooking on the mic in these segments with John Cena. Mm-hmm. We'll see where it goes on Monday Night Raw because there's another face-off between the two.
But we need to get Cena in action, too.
Yeah.
His dates, when he first announced the farewell tour, the dates that he was going to be, I didn't expect it to just be him coming and cutting promos.
Yeah.
I expected it like, it's your farewell tour. You should be fucking wrestling.
Do some matches.
Yeah. Do some matches. Like,
yeah.
Or have Cody do a match and have Cena come out and interfere. Like, do something outside of him just fucking berating the crowd to continue this heel turn.
Yeah.
There's got to be some form of physicality into it. He's got to attack Cody. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. He's got to attack Cody's friends. Like, stuff like that needs to happen over the next 3 weeks. or this is going to be once again another just busted storyline.
Yeah.
That's not going to feel. We're going to, if that happens, we're going to go into WrestleMania with the hottest title match being Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
Which is fucking mind blowing that's a possibility.
Yeah, exactly. But
so
I'll trust in the process, but it's WrestleMania is coming up quick.
Very
quick. Coming very quickly.
Yeah.
21 days from today is when WrestleMania is.
Yes.
So
exactly 3 weeks. That brings me to, I mean, it's kind of both shows because we got stuff from it on both. I'm jumping to the triple threat match. Just the fact that we're getting it to close one of the nights is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's a double-edged sword, though. I think it is acknowledging that arguably the three biggest stars in the company, or three of the biggest stars in the company, right? I think Cody would be the only other one that could really compete for that title with those three individuals. So the fact that we're getting that, I think, is an acknowledgement of like, there's no title involved. This is just all personal storylines all strung together, and it's that big.
Yeah.
The other side to that double-edged sword, I think, is also kind of the acknowledgement by the company that they know one of these title matches is not going to be able to hold a light to this triple threat match.
Yeah.
And my assumption is it's going to be the same night that Jay and Gunther happens.
Yeah.
That's going to be my assumption. Is it's
Yeah.
going to be that same night. That match will probably like start the show or something, and then the women's will be in the middle of it or something, right?
Yeah.
That would be my assumption if the triple threat match is closing. But when they announced that last night, I was like, fuck yeah. And that was such a cool moment because you got CM Punk like actually starting to like tear up because he's going to get to main event WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. It's not for a title, but it's, essentially for bragging rights and what could potentially lead to a number one contender. I know that's what he's looking for. Yeah. That's what he was scouring the contract for. So yeah, I just thought the whole thing was cool. And the fact that we keep getting CM Punk on every fucking episode of live TV right now is fucking dope. And
I think this is just a jab at all the part-timers that like he deserves. He's in that realm
even
where
fucking Seth wasn't on Raw last week.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like for Seth to keep saying that he held this company together while CM Punk was gone. Well, CM Punk's the only motherfucker that's showing up on every goddamn live thing outside of Sammy was.
Yeah.
Right? Sammy was on everything before that match. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to remember, we haven't really seen Sammy.
Yeah, not since
the KO match, right?
Yeah.
So just kind of... it's kind of interesting.
No, I loved the contract signing. No violence. It was
all
just straight up, just sparring on the mic. Three great at it. Roman was shining in this moment too.
Roman did really well. Yes, absolutely.
And
the fact that he was just sitting the whole time just adds to his ego, adds to his character. Like he's above all of this. Yeah. Why the fuck would he stand to these two type of thing? He's just sitting down.
Yeah.
It felt like a mob boss or mafia fucking meeting type thing where there's, the Don is the fucking dude just sitting down the whole time and the other guys are all, that's kind of what it felt like. So yeah, I will 100% give him his flowers on that.
The only thing I get where Seth is coming from. Like, you're letting this guy, but like they're treating CM Punk he's treating CM Punk as this huge threat to the business. But to your point, he's been on every show. He's a fan favorite. Like, what is he doing to hurt wrestling? Like, yes, like when he went out 10 years ago, or it's more than 10 years ago, but when he was out for that 10 years, he was, taking jabs at WWE, but that's never going to take WWE down.
No.
It's just the old saying, it's just a spoke on the wheel and it's going to keep going. So, so I think Seth needs to come up with some more why is CM Punk a threat kind of thing to everything. I like their feud, and it's not taking me out of it or anything, but it just needs to be a little more.
I do feel like, though, that is the weakest point here.
Yeah.
is Seth. But I do feel like that's the weakest point in this whole triple threat feud, though, is Seth's disdain for CM Punk at this point. It's like this has been long ongoing, and it was really good, but now it just feels drawn out. And Seth Rollins' character is continuing to rub me the wrong way more and more and more. Because he is now just turning into a whiny bitch. Yeah. But not in the good creative way like that Drew. McIntyre is. Yes. Right? Like McIntyre is perfect at it.
Yeah.
Seth's not coming off the best in that regard for me.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, oh my God. I think, can we get past this and put CM Punk in something more meaningful for me?
I think maybe just having Seth say he's a ticking time bomb. Like, yes, he's good now. But what's going to happen? Maybe we'll feed more into the history of them. But yeah, if it's just going to be this whining thing, I agree with you. It's not that great. I'm excited for the triple threat.
It's going to be fucking amazing.
It's 3 of your top stars, your biggest stars, and going at it at the main event of night 1. I'm assuming definitely, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like Cody Jones. It depends what happens in the next 3 weeks, I'm sure.
That's true.
But it's like Triple H said, it's whatever is the biggest story to tell. So still got time to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming Cena, Cody is night 2.
Yeah.
Main event.
I would assume.
Rewinding a little bit, got to just talk about the great segment of El Grande Americano. Just the lead up to it, Chad being sick. Can't wrestle. We get a promo.
Literally fake coughing.
It
was kind of a badass promo too. Like I didn't know what it was. Like I was like, there was a legit moment of me that thought this was Rey Fenix.
Oh yeah.
I thought that this was like an introduction. I was like, what is going on right now? And then I was like, oh nope, this is definitely not Rey Fenix.
It was well done. I don't think I've ever seen a vignette like that.
Yeah.
And just. I'm shocked, but not shocked that they put the Gulf of America into that promo, which was great. But just Chad Gable is just on another level.
Yep.
And the match between him and Dragon Lee, or El Grande Americano versus Dragon Lee, was fantastic.
It was
super good. I had to put that in there just because.
Yeah.
It was good.
And it's still one of those things, and he's hitting all the same moves and stuff, but the mask is literally doing just enough to you legitimately cannot tell if that is actually Chad Gable's face underneath that mask. Yeah. There's not enough being seen to be able to be like, that's clearly him.
Yeah.
It's built the same, jacked just like Gable is. But there is still a possibility that that's not Chad Gable underneath that mask, underneath it. And I think that is still the best part of this entire thing for me.
Yeah, I love...
There's I know it's him, but there's that slight chance that I talked about last week where it's like, what if it is Charlie Haas? Or what if it's somebody else?
Yeah.
And this hasn't been Gable the whole time.
It
would be such a curveball and such a fucking awesome thing to do.
It's a perfect blend of comedy and seriousness all at once, and
comedy, seriousness, and great wrestling.
Yeah, it's
for
fantastic. Sure. I love it.
Yeah.
What if we get a tag match? Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee versus Gable and El Grande Americano.
And isn't that just the large American?
Yeah.
Right?
The big American.
Yeah. The big American or whatever. Yeah. Kind of tapping into that same vein of stuff, and I just brought Rey Fenix up. Why are they immediately separating the Lucha Bros? That makes no sense to me. And I don't know how that can make any sense. You have arguably one of the best tag teams in the business today that you just acquired now both within the last 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And you're immediately starting them on singles runs on opposite shows.
Yeah, that makes no sense. No.
At all. Like, this should be, especially with where Penta's at with the Judgment Day and how that all continues to kind of boil out. It would make nothing but sense to have Rey end up in a or not triple threat, but a six man tag match with a mystery partner. And everyone knows it's going to be Rey anyways, but just like we knew it was going to be Penta when Penta debuted, right? Yeah. But you have like Braun Breaker, Penta, and Rey Fenix now all of a sudden against the Judgment Day. That'd be a fucking dope match.
Yeah.
The match would be legit.
Yeah.
But why the fuck are we putting him on SmackDown? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Unless their plan is to move Penta over to SmackDown as well and have him be a part of the dope tag team division on SmackDown, which would be sick. But it also wouldn't make much sense for him to debut on Raw and then 2 months later move him to SmackDown.
Yeah.
So
yeah, especially
it's confusing and I don't like it.
Especially since he's in the thick of things with the IC title right now. Like, that part makes sense because he's on a solo thing. But yeah, you got a hot tag team. Raw has no hot tag teams right now, like very little. So it just makes sense to put them together.
And what better fucking way to continue to push Chad Gable's whole fucking war against the Luchas than to have Penta and Rey together against the Creed brothers. That would be a dope match too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Maybe it's
come on, Paul. Listen to us again. Don't know what we did to hurt you. Listen to us.
Going over to Tiffany Stratton. What a great rebuttal to last week's promo off that Charlotte and Tiffany had. I thought this added a lot to the feud, and it was just, I got nothing to lose. She threw every Charlotte word in her face.
Fucking awesome.
And was like, sounds like you got everything to lose. And
yeah,
I was just here for it. I had chills.
I absolutely loved if I lose, I'm losing to Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
You know, arguably the greatest of all time type of thing. Mm-hmm. But if you lose, and then I loved that. She threw every barb that Charlotte called her last week, every single one right back at her. And said,
so good.
Ball's in your court now. I literally wrote here, I said, Tiffany better not lose at WrestleMania.
She cannot.
I said, she's too fucking good. Her promo, her promo just made Charlotte look the best she's looked since she returned.
Oh, yeah.
And she wasn't even in that promo.
Yeah.
Like, that literally just made Charlotte look like the biggest heel possible because of what Tiffany just did. Like, you cannot have her drop this fucking title to her at WrestleMania. You need to supplant Tiffany as the number one in the business because she is really close to the number one in the business.
Yeah. The only thing that has me nervous is that little face off with Charlotte and Jade right before, as Charlotte was coming down. I was like, she better not win the title and that be the next feud. Like, it's got to be Tiffany winning at WrestleMania.
I know.
I will be so pissed. I'll be so pissed.
Yes,
same. I think several others would be as well.
Yeah, because again, that it does nothing for Charlotte's career.
No,
to have her win this match.
No, she's already got the most title reigns.
It could literally squash Tiffany's career to have her lose this and drop the title here.
Yeah, agreed.
You know, so. Oh, man. All right. My final thing here, because that was my fifth, was what you just said. So I only have one thing left. And it's, why are they doing Jacob Fatu so dirty? Because they are. They're making him look like this badass motherfucker that they continue to do, and they do a great job of that. But overall, they're fucking him over so hard. Why do we have this fucking him and Braun Strowman feud?
It's still going.
Put him in something that actually fucking matters. We don't need to see him topple Braun Strowman. We've already seen it.
Yeah.
We've seen him take him out now like 3 times. Why do we need a last man standing match between them?
This is just regurgitating the Bronson Reed feud.
Exactly. And it's just like, why do we need to have a last man standing match between these two when we know Jacob Fatu's going to win? There is a -% chance that Braun Strowman's going to win this fucking match. You know? So it's just like, fuck, man. Put him into a storyline.
Yeah.
Have him fucking split from Solo and Tama. Have him destroy them, end that, and just be his own guy. And put him into something that fucking matters. And stop dragging this shit out. They're playing the long game with so much shit right now. And it's like 2 too much.
Yeah.
Like, some things need to fucking happen, and this is one of them that needs to happen. They need to pull the fucking trigger.
Yeah.
Because it's just getting... I'm so fucking annoyed with what they're doing to my dog.
I just don't... Where is it playing out to?
Yeah.
Like, is he going to be facing LA Knight for the title at WrestleMania? Is he facing Solo? I don't know.
And are we going to get any of these things to end clean?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I fucking hate it.
Ridiculous.
What I think would be dope is he wins the last man standing match, obviously. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that sets up a number one contender between him and LA Knight at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And like Solo and Tama try to get involved, but Jacob destroys them and then wins the match.
Ooh.
That would be fucking dope.
That would be.
They're going to get involved and potentially cost Jacob again. And Jacob's like, no, fuck you. Puts them both through the announce table or something, and then goes back and finishes off LA Knight. Like, that would be the ultimate. Jacob Fatu's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, takes his eye off the ball for a minute to take care of this business and then goes back and finishes the other business, because that's not usually how it happens, right?
Yeah.
Typically somebody gets distracted, they take care of that, and then they go in and they lose.
Yeah.
To have Jacob successfully do both would be kind of a new swerve.
Yeah, for sure. I like that. All right, I got like 1.5 things left, so the last
about that much.
But the last one is more just like a question. So, anyways, this Drew McIntyre Priest feud. At first, at Elimination Chamber, I was like, meh, I'm not really into this. And then I forgot to mention it on the episode that I did by myself, but they played a really cool video package of Priest benefited 3 times against Drew McIntyre because of Punk. And I was like, oh shit, they've been planting seeds for this feud, whether they meant to or not.
It's happened.
There was a lot over the past year where Drew was taken out because of Punk. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was super cool how they tied in. And then you followed by weeks of Drew just kicking the crap out of Priest, like stomps to the head, like brutal looking ones. Fast forward to last night and just the Priest getting the upper hand finally and having a backstage brawl finally with just smashing him down on the windshield. That was insane. And
that was a dope spot.
I'm hoping Drew didn't get, because he said glass in his eyes, and it's just like a random line to say. I didn't see any doctors when CM Punk went by, so I think he's fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the shit exploded.
Yeah, it did.
Like, I was like, whoa!
That
was legit. Okay.
It was an awesome spot. And then did you see?
I mean, he's like 273 pounds or something to fucking just go onto. And that wasn't a big car.
No.
He could probably bench press that car.
Yeah. So I'm very invested in this feud now just because of what has been done the last few weeks, and really excited for this grudge match. Also, just little note from that. Did you see when he slammed the guy through the table, the security guard? He was this close to hitting his head on that ramp from the truck behind the table.
Oh, I didn't. I mean, I obviously saw when he slammed the dude, but I didn't pay attention to how close he was.
It was very close from what I saw.
I feel like he was supposed to go lengthwise with the table.
Yeah.
Not
perpendicular. Yeah. Right. So it was a really cool segment. I like how it just played, where he was like, "We're going to the pub," opens the door, and Priest is right there. Super cool.
Yeah, that was. I enjoyed that, and I like this feud.
Yeah. Lastly, we're 21 days away from WrestleMania. They need to start announcing matches. I get where most of it's going, but I would like to have it set in stone. So
start building a card out.
We can be fully invested in going.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what are they doing with Jacob Fatu, or
because I guess we know all the title matches, right? Officially, we know all the title matches. Well, I guess outside of the women's world, we're not sure about that yet because we don't know.
There's a little
so that's not set in stone.
What's going on with the IC title, the tag titles, the US title, the women's US title? It's not all set in stone. So
not those. I was talking about the 4 main.
Oh yeah, the 4 main titles.
The 4 main titles. We know 3 of the 4. We know the triple threat. We know Orton and KO.
Yeah.
right? I think those are the only things that are set in stone.
Yeah.
Are those 5 matches. And then we know that the women's world title is happening at WrestleMania. We just don't know who's involved
Is
yet.
it a one-on-one or a triple threat? We're assuming triple threat, but not set in stone.
Well, yeah, because you're going to assume that the Rhea Io is going to end in no contest or DQ or something this week on Raw.
I guess that was a peeve of. Why are you putting Bianca as special referee when she has a biasism? Like, she has a foot in the race. Like, why have her be in that match? So, anyways, I digress. The point is, we're 21 days away. We need to have some finalization with this card.
We need cards being built out,
so we could get even more excited about it.
Yeah,
that was my only point.
All right.
Banger of the week. What do you got?
I went Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano.
That was a good match.
The match was phenomenal. It was really good. Again, I think the storyline with El Grande Americano right now and all of it is just I think it might be the best stuff on Raw right now in general. And it's just completely invested, and the match itself, like I said, was amazing. Chad Gable might be the best in-ring performer.
Yeah.
Assuming that is Chad Gable. But like, he's so fucking good in the ring, dude. It's insane.
It's on that Kurt Angle level.
Yeah.
It really is.
But like, you didn't have Kurt Angle out here fucking all out of nowhere hitting Hurricane Ron as jumped up as a fucking lucha. You know, like he's like doing some lucha moves.
Yeah.
And that's not something, I don't feel like that's something you typically would expect from a fucking Olympic wrestler.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, that's mine.
Almost had that as my banger as well. I went with Punk getting his main event at WrestleMania and just how he got emotional.
Yeah.
You love to see it. It felt real.
It did.
It felt like a real interaction between Paul Heyman and him. And I loved it. I got a little emotional about it. And it's just, you love to see it. You love to see those real moments in WWE, and that felt like it. Belts question of the week. You posed this.
I sure did. All right. I wrote with the WWE, the Hall of Fame. I don't know why none of that came out of my mouth right. The WWE Hall of Fame quickly approaching. Said, who will you consider to be the biggest snub after this year's inductees? Have I believe now, like you said, have all been announced. So like, we're now another year down with certain individuals not having gotten in.
Yeah.
Who are more than deserving.
Yeah.
And we have, a lot of individuals that have been inducted that have absolutely no business being inducted. So, specifically the majority of the celebrity inductions, which are fucking stupid.
I don't like them. I don't like them at all.
Yeah. Like, there's a handful that have made sense that have had like legit full-blown storylines, but then there's a bunch that have made zero sense.
I think any celebrity that's been in the ring, like actually wrestled, sure.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones, I don't get it.
Yeah.
All right, so who I put, and this one it's going to be hard to do, but Owen Hart, he deserves it. WWE needs to mend things with Martha. Yep.
That's what I wrote too, was Owen Hart.
The man needs to be in the WWE's
I didn't think you were going to go
Fame.
with that. I really didn't. I was like, Owen, it's an obvious one, but I thought you would go another way.
No,
but yes.
I think with Vince being gone, who is the biggest ego behind not mending things, I would say just Owen Hart needs to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
I 100% agree. I get the whole lawsuit that happened after and all that, and it's, tarnished, whatever. I mean, really, if anything, it's only tarnished WWE's legacy. Yeah. So I feel like that's just making it worse by not inducting him into the Hall of Fame. Like, I feel like that would be a way to attempt to make some amends to a point, right?
Yeah.
Like, that would be the right thing to do because Owen didn't do anything wrong in any way, shape, or form.
No.
Right?
No.
Well, since you took Owen, I will throw another one out there, and this will never happen, and it's extremely controversial, but I'm basing it purely off of the in-ring work, and that's Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Chris Benoit, the wrestler, no doubt inarguably deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Career, everything.
Yeah, it's everything. He hits every fucking thing above and beyond that of the criterion that is involved in that. And obviously, like we've always talked about, we gotta try to separate the art from the human.
Yeah.
Right. The human side obviously ended it all with some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
But the art side of it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
It can't be argued against. So
I agree.
I wish we could get to that point as a society where it's like you can acknowledge that, yes, somebody was not necessarily a very good person, but what they did for the business, what they did for the lives of other people, the other wrestlers that Benoit helped fucking mold and make some of the biggest stars, that we've seen over the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. That stuff deserves to be recognized.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I'll throw one more out. Just Bray Wyatt. Like, why isn't he not in yet? I think he's done enough in his career to deserve it. Yeah,
and I would be shocked if he's not in the next couple of years. I feel like they might be trying to let the passing get a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Let time pass a little bit more.
Yeah,
like they didn't do it last year because last year's Hall of Fame was the first Hall of Fame after he had passed.
Yeah,
so they inducted his dad and his uncle.
Yeah,
right. Did I kind of expect it to be this year? Sure. But at the same time, like, it's kind of my same thing with whenever the Hardys get inducted. It's like, they need to headline it. They need to be the number one.
True.
Bray Wyatt needs to be the number one. This year, it's Triple H is the number one. And that was against his will. He did not want that. I mean, I'm sure he's wanted it, but he was not going to be the one. He probably figured, I'm never going to the Hall of Fame until I die because I'm in charge.
Yeah.
And I'm not inducting myself because he would never.
Yeah.
So I think that just kind of, there's like the timing pieces and the importance of being the headliner of the Hall of Fame. And Bray needs to be the headliner of whatever class he goes in. Yeah, and so I think there are things that play into that. But
yeah, makes sense.
He 100% needs to be in. And he will. I don't think there's any doubt that he will be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Yeah, for sure. Alrighty,
that brings us to
Blockbusters. Hell yeah. Oh, yes. How now, brown cow?
We're going over to the movie things. I put a couple things down for this. Salvable. Synopsis: an emotional, action-packed film about a prize fighter's battles both inside and outside the ring. When a battered boxer past his prime finds his dreams and his relationships on the ropes, he falls back in with a dangerous crowd and has to take the biggest swing of his life to reclaim his hope and his family. Cast is Shia LaBeouf and Toby Cabell. Release date is May 2nd, and this is going to be a release out in theaters, video on demand, on digital. So probably limited theater release and mainly on digital format. But this feels like it kind of felt like the Peanut Butter Falcon movie, just like the trailer a little bit. Definitely feels very emotional. Yeah. And I'm really excited to see Shia LaBeouf in the movie as well. Just talk about actors that deserve a second chance and everything. And for sure. I know he's not the main star of this movie, but it's good to see him in it. Yep. The whole story of the line of this, it feels like it's going to be some heartstrings pulled and then feel good moments. So
for sure.
The trailer was emotional.
Yeah, it was definitely engaging, gets you right out the gate. Mm-hmm. I'm not typically into the boxing fighting movies. Like I love the Rocky franchise.
Yeah, but I get what
I think I saw the first Creed. I don't think I've seen any. Mm-hmm. Is there 3 out now?
Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen the other 2. Outside of that, there's not really any other boxing movies that are like my thing, or that I can honestly say that I've really watched. Yeah. So, but this one, I was like, okay, yeah. It looks good. I'm here for it, and I'm pretty much always down to watch anything that Shia LaBeouf's in. So yeah, I do really enjoy him as an actor.
Yeah, I think he's really good in everything.
Yeah.
Next up, we got One Battle After Another. Synopsis: when their evil enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of ex-revolutionaries reunites to rescue one of their own daughter. Cast is Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, Regina Hall, Teyana Taylor, and Chase Infinity. Release date is September 26th. Platform is in the theaters. I love everything Leo DiCaprio is in.
Hold on, you said that wrong. It was according to this trailer, it's Chicho DiCaprio. He looks exactly like Cheech Marin in a couple of the fucking scenes.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? He's got the fucking mustache, he's got sunglasses, and the beanie down on his head. His hair's kind of sticking out the back. I was like, you look like a white Cheech. What the hell? That's funny.
So true.
But it looks funny. It looks fucking action-packed. It looks engaging, emotional, like everything. Like it looks like it has a little bit of it all.
But yeah, Leo brings like just smooth comedy. Like it's just so good. And just the end of the trailer, like, please sensei, please sensei.
Please sensei, please sensei. Yeah.
Yes, Bob. Viva la Russia. And
he's just wearing like the fucking red plaid bathrobe. Like, it just looks like a homeless guy.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
A lot of big names in this.
Yes.
Looks exciting. So again, I like his catalog of movies. It's one I'll watch over and over again. So
yeah,
super excited for that.
Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio is fantastic.
Jumping over to series, I posted this as well. It's called Duster. Synopsis is set in the 1970s Southwest. The life of a gutsy getaway driver for a growing crime syndicate goes from awful to wildly, stupidly, dangerously awful. Cast is Josh Holloway, Rachel Hilson, and Keith David. Release date is May 15th, and this is going to be on Max. Why I put this is I'm excited for Josh Holloway coming back. I watched the show Lost, and he was a big character in that, and J.J. Abrams is one of the producers on this. Yeah. So it kind of reunites them together. The trailer looks solid.
Yeah.
I like anything just with like an undercover person / trying to bring down the big crime lords. So that's why I was excited.
Yeah, this show looks good. It looks awesome. The tone of it is interesting to me. Mm-hmm. Like the tone of the trailer. It felt the trailer itself, lighting and camera angles, and obviously it's set in the 70s, which I think so was Woman of the Hour.
Oh yeah.
Anna Kendrick, right? It was set maybe the 80s. Hers was. I can't remember, but it was in one of those two decades. But it felt very similar with like kind of like the reddish lighting throughout a lot of it.
Yeah.
Had a similar feel to that, but in an almost TV show version of like a, I don't know. I felt like there was like a Smoking Aces vibe to this trailer, kind of, or something like that in that tone. It was like hard for me to kind of pinpoint, but I felt like I felt a lot of familiar things while watching it. So
yeah, now super excited for that too. That brings us to our Fred, which is follow-up, rumors, and early development.
I put this on here. We got an actual trailer for Alien Earth.
Yes, we did.
Which will be on Hulu, and it is the prequel to it is a prequel show to the original Alien movie. It came out in 88, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, just wanted to throw it on there and just do a little chat about the trailer that we saw for this.
It's super exciting just to see just them on Earth. I know we've had like Alien versus Predator. But I think that like just seeing this, it's predating Alien and being on Earth is a really cool aspect of it. You don't get a lot of from this trailer, just very minimal, which I like.
Me too.
I don't like the trailers that just give away everything in it. But it was just a cool throwback because, again, they're in that control room. We've seen that in Alien, and it's chatting with whoever they're chatting with. I forget what they call that. But it feels like a cool throwback to that. And then just all the commotion going on behind it was crazy.
I know, it's like, oh god.
Yeah.
For the short clip this was, and like you said, for not showing a lot,
You get a lot.
was still quite anxiety inducing.
Yeah, impactful.
It was just like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
You get some very quick glimpses of the xenomorph,
Yep.
and for it to be a series, I think if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time we've had a series involving Alien.
Yeah.
So this is super exciting because love movies, love going to the theater and seeing them, but there's just something about a show. You just get so much more from it. You get so much because they can go into more detail, depending on how long the episodes are going to be. You can probably assume nowadays, it being a streaming show, it's probably going to be 40 to 45 minutes, probably to an hour ish, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And you can just get so much more detail, and yeah, depending on how the length of the season and everything. But I mean, even if it's 45 minutes and there's 8 to 10 episodes,
Yeah.
that's
You get in 2 movies.
3 episodes is the length of a feature film.
Yeah.
At that point, right? So yeah, it's like, oh shit, you might be getting fucking 3 episodes or 3 movies worth of information in a single season potentially. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool, and I'm excited about that.
I think that's been the coolest thing since world turning towards streaming is we're getting a lot of shows and series that feel like movies.
Yeah.
And can be movies, but
Yeah.
you get more detail in each episode, which is really exciting. So
For sure.
that's what's going to be cool about this.
I am curious to see how they tie in the idea of the first movie, because it's not like they knew in the first movie,
Yeah.
right, that this creature existed.
Yeah.
So to have this be a prequel set on Earth is going to be interesting to see, like,
That's true.
the extents taken by the government to keep this under wraps,
Yeah.
because you can assume that that's what's going to happen.
That's true. Very true. Good.
Or they would have
good
been,
question.
or they would have been aware of the threat potential, at least in the original movie,
Yeah.
right? And they weren't. They're completely caught off guard. So you can make the assumption that this being a prequel, there's going to be something involved with making sure this doesn't get out or whatever.
That's true.
So
That's a good thought.
yeah. Final Destination's Bloodlines. We also got the official trailer for that. And if that don't put us right back into the swing of things.
No kidding.
The second the dude drops the glass, it was just like, well, fuck.
New fear unlocked.
Here we go. That's always been a fear of mine because I was a bartender.
That's true.
And that's like a known thing. If a glass breaks anywhere near the ice bin, you have to melt the entire ice bin and refill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not at a bar, so
They're
that
not.
makes sense
Yes.
why
Yes.
that didn't happen.
Yes, they're
and none of them were
somebody's
apparently
backyard.
bartenders.
Yes. And so, yeah, but it's still just like, oh shit, this is not good. And there's so many fucking things. Oh God, it's just like the whole chain reaction of all of these events that just get set up for this to happen is just like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I love the bringing up then, like, going back to the fucking whatever 70s or whatever.
Yeah.
The fucking grandma was young, and they were in like what looked kind of like a version of like the Space Needle almost,
Yeah,
right? And then like all the shit happens there, and that's
so
the first premonition, or at least for that family.
Yeah.
is what it seemed like.
So it's cool because it feels like we're gonna get 2 like
stories.
premonitions.
Yeah, we're gonna
Have,
get like
like,
2 stories involved.
The main premonition that
in
sets
one.
up the
Yeah.
story. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm assuming what this trailer was the one of the big premonitions
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
happens
I'm assuming
for
too,
the
yeah.
movie. But I thought this was cool. It kind of cleared up what questions we had about bloodlines, and it's a lot of people survived that 70s one, and they weren't supposed to live but had kids, and that's kind of what we're getting here.
Yeah.
So
And that makes you wonder if they're then going to somehow kind of tie in, because it's called Bloodlines, not Bloodline,
yeah.
right?
So it's
But sorry. So it makes you kind of wonder if they're somehow everyone, like all of the different families and characters involved in, or at least the main characters involved in all of the other 5 movies.
Yeah. Kind of make
maybe had relatives involved in this Space Needle-esque looking premonition.
No, I totally agree.
That would be a really cool fucking way for them to tie everything together.
Yeah. What's cool about these movies is obviously it's like you can just keep them going, and so it's like it's been a while, and it's kind of like a reboot because it's been a while, but also it's its own thing. It's just a sequel to it all.
It's kind of a reboot, but it's its own thing, but it is a sequel, and it could totally has the potential and the opportunity, wide open door, to tie together to everything. So it's just like has this whole it's awesome.
You know, the other thought that when I watched the trailer again was just someone has to like think of all these death traps and everything, and like who's coming up with those and just going, well, shit, that's scary. And then how do I make it happen where this chain of events happen to everything? The lawnmower part. Whew.
Oh my God, I know. And that's because it's like, and that's what I love about these is you're watching and it's like the glass breaks and goes into the ice and you're like, oh fuck, somebody's going to drink this.
Yep. But then
it's like, it goes fucking 19 different directions, and then that is the ice is not involved in that way, like not in the way that you expected it to be at all. It's involved in a completely different way, and then it leads to the lawnmower, and you're like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
What is going on?
Exactly.
Yeah,
very, very pumped for this movie. Avengers Doomsday. We finally get, we're in production.
We got concrete information.
Very concrete.
There's been a lot of speculation about who's going to be involved, when production's going to start, like all sorts of stuff. And
we are in production.
We
got a casting trailer, and interesting enough, I did not know there was like a live feed that went on for hours. I only saw this shortened minute and a half clip,
and I couldn't find the minute and a half clip. All I could find was the fucking 5-hour clip. I'm not watching that, so I'm going to read about who all's in it.
But what we got was what I saw was just a quick trailer, and it went chair by chair by chair, listing off the actors and actresses that are going to be in Avengers Doomsday. We got some X-Men. We got Channing Tatum coming back. We got Nightcrawler coming back. That was exciting to see. And then you finish this trailer with Robert Downey Jr., Doomsday, and telling us to shh.
Yep.
They're in production. Yeah. It was super exciting. Not a lot obviously happening, but
no, it was dope to just see the characters that are going to be involved, because it was like, this showed the cast of Thunderbolts. This showed the cast of the Fantastic Four. This showed Chris Hemsworth back as Thor. It shows Paul Rudd back as Ant-Man. Shows Sam Wilson as Captain America.
Patrick Stewart,
Ian McKellen, Rebecca Romijn, Alan Cummings, James Marsden, Cyclops, right? Like, so many legacy characters, so many new characters, so many
we got Shang-Chi coming back.
Yeah, for sure. And then you had written on the agenda that Robert Downey Jr. and the MCU tease more.
There was like a tweet, and I don't know if it's real, so that could be rumor, but there was
that was what the question was that I had, because I was like, it wasn't in that. It wasn't in a little clip.
No, it was,
because all he did was he just said shh and then got up and walked away.
Yeah, there was a little just comment on a post or something, and it's Marvel said, RDJ said something, and then Marvel said there may be more, and
because you got to think of some of the characters that weren't represented.
Yeah, like Tom Holland's not in there.
Spider-Man's not there. Doctor Strange isn't there. Captain Marvel isn't there. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel's not there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton more.
Yeah.
I mean, most everybody from the TV shows weren't involved there.
So does
Young Avengers, Hawkeye.
they're
Like,
not going to be in this, or
is it just this is just what they wanted to show us now?
yeah,
Just started production, so there's a lot that can happen, and there is Secret Wars too.
yeah,
Because it's a 2-part finale, just like it always has been. It's a 2-part finale to this, or I guess not always has been. That's really only happened once. But,
Yeah.
Well, I guess that it's always has been. It's a 2-part finale to a saga,
yes,
right? Not to a phase, but to a saga.
Yeah.
And so,
I've been reading a lot that this could be like more geared towards Avengers versus X-Men in this movie, with Doomsday kind of playing
Puppet Master Okay.
between it all, and that kind of makes sense just with what they showed in the casting chairs. But I don't know. I'm just here along for the ride, and this was just the first concrete stuff we've gotten, and super excited.
Yeah.
Super
It's fucking
excited.
dope. It's absolutely dope.
Felt like a kid watching a trailer. That brings us to our special segment of the week. We got the binge cap for March. Ryan, what do you got this month?
I got a handful of things. Started watching White Lotus season 3.
Okay.
Okay. They're a few episodes ahead of me. I will be straight up honest, and my buddies at work watch it as well. Like 3 of my other 4 coworkers all watch the show, and they're all kind of like caught up, and they've said the same thing that I'm kind of feeling right now, where I think I'm like partway through the 3rd episode. I think there's like 6 or 7 out now. Mm-hmm. It's kind of moving slower, a little bit harder for me to stay fully engaged right now, but they have said that the first 3 are kind of slower, but then it does start to pick up, so I'm like kind of just got to trudge through it, I guess.
Gotcha.
But it's just not how the first 2 seasons were. Mm-hmm. The first 2 seasons I felt like were like right out the gate, like kind of gripping, and started with kind of seeing like something that was happening, and this one hasn't really felt like we're getting a lot of that. So anyways, so that's one. I watched the first episode of The Studio yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Fucking already 100% I'm in. It's fantastic. I love it. I loved every minute of it. I think it's great. The whole premise of it. The whole premise of the show is, and I think that's going to be a testament to this show and the creative behind it and the people in it. The idea behind the show, I feel like, is, or could very well just be fucking boring as fuck. Like, it's a fucking movie studio exec that's trying to figure out how to do it, but they're doing it so fucking well just in this first episode, and that it makes it super engaging.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's it's a story that they have taken that could be, or regularly done would just be fucking flat and not come over well and would be boring as hell, and they're turning it into something that's super intriguing, which is awesome.
That's awesome.
And it's a mix of like famous people as themselves and then other famous people as characters.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's a really cool blend of stuff. Me and Lindsay are in the process of watching Found season 3 that has re-upped. The second half started back again in January. We just started watching it like 2 weeks ago. We kind of let a handful of episodes build up so we could kind of binge them.
Yeah.
But now we're caught up, and so one came out last night, but I'm gotta wait till she gets back from Arizona to watch it.
Gotcha.
So we're watching that. I started watching Running Point on Netflix as well, with Kate Hudson taking over the basketball team and stuff. Yeah, we talked about that on the show. It's good. I really enjoy it so far. It's funny. It's intriguing. It's like I think it's a cool concept and everything.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed that. Continuing with Happy Face after watching the first 2 episodes, and it's a great show so far. Throughout everything else, still trying to pluck away time to continue Prison Break.
There you go. Are you liking it?
I am. Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah,
it's a good show. It's one where I wish I wasn't fully invested in all of these other things.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I'm like, it's one where I could totally see myself just sitting down and watching this straight. But right now, it's just because of everything else, especially the next one that I'm about to say. It's one where I'm like, all right, I'm caught up on everything else. Let me slip into one episode of this when I can, type of thing, No,
absolutely.
And because the number one show that I've been watching right now is Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if you've started it or not, but it's fantastic. It's
I
absolutely
have not started.
You haven't started watching it? There's
No.
like 5 episodes out.
I know.
Because they dropped 2 the first week, 1 the second week, and then 2 just this last Tuesday.
Gotcha.
So it's it's fucking great. It's amazing. And yeah, that's for shows. Oh, I guess I finished. Never mind. It's not just for shows. I finished Silo season 2 finally.
How it was. Jesus, right?
Fucking Christ.
So
Jesus
good.
Christ.
I love that show.
The show is fucking amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then I have, in the last month, started and finished season 3 of Reacher on Amazon as well with Alan Richson. That show's amazing. If you haven't watched that, you should definitely watch that. It's 100% worth it. It's super good. That's all of my shows and
all your shows. That's a fucking shit ton.
I know. Which is going to make sense as to why there's only one movie that I have written down. And I watched it because between all of those shows and all of the wrestling and the rest of life,
it's hard to fit in.
Racked my brain. I think I only watched one movie. And it was on the plane ride down to Arizona, and I watched The Parenting with Lisa Kudrow and Brian Cox and a handful of other people. And it was fucking funny. It was super. I thought it was super engaging and entertaining. And
is that one we talked about?
Yeah, it was
on Max.
It's the parent. It's called The Parenting. It's kind of like this. No, it's a movie. It's kind of like a spin-off of. Not a spin-off, sorry. It's a spoof, thank you. It's kind of like the Haunting type stuff, spoofs.
Ooh, I'm excited for that.
But it's like also fully its own thing, and it was super good. I really enjoyed it. I thought the whole premise of it was a good idea. I thought it was very up to date and modern, and just all around it was a good idea. It was good. I liked it. So
that's awesome.
That's my binge cap.
That's a good solid one.
It was a solid binge cap.
Was February a down? You had a down month, maybe January. And
I think January was my down month, and then I was like, I gotta fucking be better. Oh, and actually, let me add. I have watched at least 2 other movies because I watched these with Lainey, and I had never actually fully seen them. That's movies that Lindsay watched, but they're fantastic, and it's Sing.
Oh, I love
1 and 2.
I haven't seen the second one, but
they're
the first
both
one was
absolutely phenomenal.
Like
that's the type of where I'm like, I'll fucking turn this on every time I'm home with her if I needed to it
was really
distract
good.
her so I can get something done type thing. Like that is the type of thing where I'm like, fuck yeah, that's good because it's entertaining. There's music. And she loves everything with music. So, anyways, Sing 1 and 2. I have also watched. So,
all right. What I got for the binge cap is shows. We'll start off with shows. Running Point. I watched the entire season with Haley and really, really enjoyed it. Super funny, cute, great show premise to it, and can see how it's going to go on to another season. So really excited for that. Finished off Deal or No Deal Island. So finished that off. Been watching Impractical Joker still. How I Met Your Mother. I'm in season 7 right now. That's my go-to-bed show.
Yep.
Been sprinkling in The Office as well. I just got past Michael leaving The Office. Breaking my heart.
Just start it over now.
I know, basically, right? That's what I've done so many times. I think I've only watched the later seasons like
a couple
2 or 3 times, but the first 7
I've watched them in full just because that's one of my shows too where I'll just put it on.
I
haven't paid that much attention to when I'm like stopping it, but I think they kept the show at a decent quality for what it was after Michael left. Like they still did a good job in that regard, but the show definitely dwindled after Michael left. He was the heart and soul of that show.
Absolutely. And then I started Paradise. It's a show on Hulu.
I know what that is.
I can't think of the actors in it anymore, but
it's the dude from This Is Us.
Yes.
He was also in Black Panther.
Supernatural, Black Panther. Yeah.
I think it was Black Panther 2, but yeah.
Yeah. Really cool premise to that show.
Yeah.
the first episode just sucks you right in. So I've been watching that. And then I haven't started Daredevil because I'm starting to rewatch of the first few seasons, just kind of refreshing up on it. So
Okay.
I'm almost done with season 1. So don't spoil it for me, please.
I didn't even have to look it up. I just remembered Sterling K. Brown is the actor.
Yeah. Highly recommend. And I'm not even that far into it, but what I've seen so far is super good. So
Of Paradise?
yeah.
Okay.
And then going over to movies, you challenged me, and I did it. John Wick 1 through 4. I finished this
Yeah,
week,
let's go.
and holy fuck, movies are
They're
phenomenal.
fucking amazing. They're absolute masterpieces. And I know you're a Matrix fan.
Yeah, yep. It was cool.
But-
Oh, this is above that.
Yeah. Like, John Wick is head and shoulders.
It's
Above
the
the
Matrix
franchise.
on steroids on crack.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. It's so fucking good. Now
To
you
come
gotta
up
watch
with-
The Continental.
Yeah, to come up with a
Because
premise,
that's only like a 3-episode miniseries too, or something.
Yeah.
4 maybe, something like that. So
and now I'm really excited for Ballerina, even
Yeah.
more so. The
Yeah.
trailer did a good job getting
yeah.
me excited.
just for not knowing really
Yes.
anything about the world, right? But now
Yeah.
you're like, oh fuck, I know where this is taking place.
What is crazy though is the world did a good job, or I did a good job avoiding any spoilers. Like
Yeah.
all I knew was it was a movie about a guy's dog dying,
Yeah.
and that's all I knew.
That's how the whole fucking franchise spawns.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it turns into this whole world.
Yeah.
Incredible. Just not a lot of like dialogue at all. Just action.
Just straight up.
very,
Yeah.
very well done
The
movies.
movies are fucking phenomenal.
If I had to put in order of which ones I like the most, I would go 1, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah. The fourth one was fucking amazing.
It was hard not to put
And I
that
think
number one.
it's been a little bit, not like crazy long, year or so probably since I've seen all 4 of them, but I feel like 2 and 3 would be very close to that same order for me, if not maybe flopped.
Yeah. 2 just started off a little slower.
Some of it's
for
blending
me,
together for me.
But yeah, it was super. I loved it.
Yeah.
Freaking loved it.
The Continental, if you loved the movies, you're gonna love the show. It was absolutely fantastic as well. So, and like I said, it's a mini series, so there's only a few episodes. So
Yeah.
it's not a ton.
I don't think I've ever said, ooh, as much as I did during watching
Yeah.
these movies.
Yeah.
Or just like, like cheering it on. So,
Wait till you start watching Daredevil Born Again. There's definitely moments. That brings us to our Blockbusters question of the week. I also posed this. We're in the heat of March Madness, man. We got today is today's Saturday, right? Yeah, so today is the beginning of the Elite 8.
Ow.
And we should end up, I believe that means we will have 2 games today, 2 games tomorrow. Yeah. So that being said, I have a 2-parter for us.
okay.
One is specifically basketball related, and one is just in general sports related. So, what is your favorite basketball movie?
My favorite basketball movie is Space Jam.
Fuck yeah.
I love it.
Fuck yeah.
It's such a big part of my childhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember it was the reason I wanted to play basketball, watching that movie. And then me and my brother and my aunt would go just play basketball afterwards. And
Yeah.
it was a great movie.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like that. I put down Coach Carter, Denzel, and that's just, the movie is phenomenal. It's
Or Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Not Denzel.
Remember the Titans was also in my mind. Not Denzel. Sorry. Sam Jackson. God damn it. Confusing myself with all of the sports and the coaches. Yes, Sam Jackson, Coach Carter. Phenomenal movie. It's Space Jam was the next one in line for me, but this movie is just, I think, one of the kind of the epitome of what a sports movie should be.
Gotcha.
Realistically.
I haven't seen that one. I love the soundtrack to that. I have the soundtrack to it, and
Amazing soundtrack.
But I don't have the movie,
But-
and I haven't seen it. So at least
Definitely recommend
I
watch.
wanted to watch it.
Yeah,
And I
definitely
don't know why I
recommend
didn't
the
do
watch.
it.
It's phenomenal.
Okay.
Next question is, in general, what do you think is the best sports movie ever? And or just your favorite sports movie ever? It doesn't necessarily have to be the one that you think is the best cinematically, but just you, what is
I'll
the
go
best?
with my favorite, the
Yeah.
best. Remember the Titans.
Okay.
It's just a classic.
Yeah.
And Denzel.
There we go.
It was just a motivational movie.
Yeah.
It was just really good, and it still holds up because I did watch it not too long ago, and just love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I have two for this because I couldn't pick between them, and one of them is Remember the Titans, and that's why I got fucked up. That's why I said the wrong coach in the wrong movie. But they're both football movies for me. Remember the Titans is there just of what the fucking movie is and how it works and just everything within it and just the fucking all of the social storylines within it for that time frame and everything. It was just everything was amazing. The other one is one that I don't know if like a lot of people would put it up there, but for me it is. And again, it's because it deals with a lot of social storylines and also one of like my biggest fears growing up on like playing sports and along with is like, what if something happens during the travel?
Yeah.
And this is We Are Marshall.
Okay.
Deals with some of the racial stuff as well. But also is dealing with the idea of, have you seen that?
No, but it's the Matthew McConaughey one, right?
Yeah.
And another
and-
just trailer that does an amazing job.
Yeah, and so essentially almost the entire football team of Marshall University dies in a plane crash, right? And then like obviously they have to rebuild the whole program, and they do, and Matthew McConaughey becomes a coach and all of that, and it's just the story behind it is amazing. The movie is so well done. I think it's my favorite football movie. Coach Carter is my favorite basketball movie. But Remember the Titans is up there with my favorite sports movie in general.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of how I was like looking at those. As I was like, We Are Marshall, I think is hands down my favorite football movie just because of what it is and the kind of the impact that it had on me when it came out. I want to say it came out in like 07, 08-ish, maybe somewhere in there. Maybe a little later. But yeah, it was just amazing. It was phenomenal. Definitely another one I would highly recommend watching.
Awesome. I like it.
Yeah, dude.
I'm excited to watch those because both movies I've wanted to watch, so it's a little refresher. Hey, now it's in my head, so now I can go out and watch it.
Yeah. All right.
That's it, man.
Well, buddy, that wraps up episode
wrapped it up.
43.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Cheers.
Let's fucking go.